Dixon C. Dixon.
In this video, we will demonstrate the following materials in and what are their chemical reactions.
Amen.
So these are the following materials. So first is baking soda. Second is vegetable oil and vinegar and food coloring, flashlight, and two containers. So let's start. Food coloring, sambog na namos tubig. So flashlight, gamit na ni flashlight ani. Tingnan sa tubig sa kuan.
Nyero boss.
Trigo, yun, then tangier, kuan.
Sabi kusog ra daw. Dili na daw. Dili na buya mo dito daw.
Te, dali. So that is a lava lamp. Tidak ada. So the explanation of their chemical reaction. The oil floats on top of the water because it is less dense or lighter than water. The food coloring has the same density as the water, so it sinks through the oil and mixes with the water. When you add the tablet, it sinks to the bottom, then starts to dissolve. As it dissolves, it makes gas carbon dioxide. So in explanation of their chemical change and physical change is their physical change is the water, food coloring, and vinegar mixture is on the bottom of on the bottom and the oil rests on top. The oil sits on top because it is less dense than water and vinegar. The bicarbonate of soda reacts with the different reacts with the vinegar in the water, producing bubbles of carbon dioxide, also written by its chemical formula, CO2 gases. So in the explanation of physical change, It is a physical one called double diffusive convection. The lump in the bottom hits the more dense fluid, causing its density to become less than the clearer fluid above it. The globule then rises in the clearer liquid until it reaches the top. All along the way, it is losing heat and becoming more dense. So good day, mom. So this is the second demonstration of chemical reactions that we are going to do. These are the following. So these are the following materials. First is vinegar and baking soda. So this is so first is so this is the vinegar and put small. So this is the baking soda and pour the vinegar, the container of vinegar.
The chemical reaction between baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, NaHCO3, and vinegar, acetic acid, CH3COOH, is as follows. Chemical reaction: NaHCO3 plus CH3COOH and CO2 plus H2O plus CH3 COONA. Explanation: the correct answer is the chemical reaction when the baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, and vinegar, acetic acid, are mixed. They undergo a chemical reaction. In this reaction, the sodium bicarbonate, NaCHO3, and acetic acid, CH3COOH, react to produce carbon dioxide, CO2, water, H2O, and sodium acetate, CH3COONA. This is a chemical change because the reactants baking soda and vinegar are transformed into different products: carbon dioxide, water, and sodium acetate with different chemical properties.
Chemical change. The reaction between baking soda and vinegar is a chemical change because the reactants are transformed into different products with different chemical properties. The formation of carbon dioxide gas is a clear indication of a chemical change.
Physical change. There is no physical change in this reaction. The mixing of baking soda and vinegar is chemical change, not a physical change.
Bronze. Bronze is considered an intensive material for several reasons: composition and concentration. Bronze is an alloy composed of copper and tin. The specific ratio and concentration of these two metals within the bronze alloy is that gives it unique properties. The high concentration of copper and tin atoms within the bronze material is an intensive property, as it does not depend on the overall quantity or size of the bronze objective. High density. Bronze is an higher density compared to the many other materials and alloy. The density of bronze capitally range from 8.0 to 8.4 grams, which is higher than the density of copper, pure copper, 8.96 grams, or pure tin, 7.31 grams. This high density is an extensive property as it is characteristic of the bronze material itself, rather than the overall size or mass of the bronze objective. Mechanical property. Bronze exhibit high strength and hardness and wear resistant compared to the pure copper or tin. These mechanical properties are a result of the specific composition and microstructure of bronze alloy. The strength, hardness, and wear resistant of bronze are extensive property, as they are inherent the material and do not depend on the overall size, quantity, and the bronze objective. Corrosion. Corrosion resistant. Bronze is known for the excellent corrosion resistant, which is due to the formation of a protective oxide layer on the surface and the material. Their corrosion resistant is an extensive property as it is characteristic of the bronze material itself rather than the overall size or quantity of the bronze object. Thermal and electrical conductivity. Bronze is a lower thermal and electrical conductivity compared to the pure copper, but is not still a good conductor of heat and electricity. These conductive properties are extensive as they are inherent to the bronze materials and do not depend on the overall size or quantity of the bronze object. In summary, bronze is considered as extensive material because it is the key properties such as composition, density, mechanical characteristic, corrosion resistant, and conductivity are concentrated concentrated with the material itself rather than being depend on overall size or quantity of the bronze object.
The object that I choose to discuss is spoon. This spoon is metal. Metal are generally considered extensive materials due to their unique properties and characteristics that are concentrated or dense within the metal material. Here's an explanation of why metals are considered intensive materials. First is high density. Metals have high concentrations of atoms or molecules per unit volume, resulting in a high density. For example, is like this um, spoon. This high, while aluminum has a density of 2.7 centimeters, 3 centimeters. This high density is an intensive property as it does not depend on the overall size or quantity of the metal, but rather on the concentrations of the atom within the materials. Second is high electrical and thermal conductivity. So, metals are excellent conductors of electricity and heat due to the high concentration of free moving electrons within their atomic structures. Next is the ability to conduct electricity and heat efficiently is intensive property as it is a characteristic of the materials itself rather than the overall quantity. The second is high strength and hardness. Metals, especially those with high purity and specific alloying compositions, can exhibit high in strength and hardness due to the tight packing and arrangement of their atoms. These mechanical properties are intensive as they depend on the internal structure and bonding within the metal rather than overall size or mass of the metal. Metals generally have high melting and boiling points due to the strong intermolecular forces and high energy required to overcome the cohesive forces between the atoms. These thermal properties are intensive as they are characteristics of the material itself rather than the quantity of the metal. High reflectivity and luster. Metals such as silver, gold, and high reflectivity, and characteristics luster due to the way they interact with light. These optical properties are intensive as they are result of the electronic structure and surface characteristic of the metal rather than the overall size or amount of the material. In summary, metals are considered intensive materials because their key properties such as density, conductivity, strength, and thermal volume and mass. These characteristics are concentrated and within the materials rather than being dependent on the overall quantity or size of the metal.
Wood is considered to have extensive properties for the following reasons: total mass and volume. The total mass and volume of a piece of wood or a forest are extensive properties. They depend directly on the amount or quantity of wood present rather than just its density or concentration. Total energy concentration. The total energy content of wood, including its chemical energy stored in the form of cellulose, lignin, and other organic compounds, is an exhaustive property. The total energy content scales with the amount of the wood available. Total carbon storage. Wood, as a natural carbon sink, stores a significant amount of significant amount of carbon. The total carbon storage capacity of a forest or a wood product is an extensive property as it depends on the total quantity of wood. Total biomes and productivity. The total biomes of forest including the wood, leaves, and other plant matter is an extensive property. The overall productivity and growth of a forest also depend on the total amount of wood present. Total ecology and environment impact. The total impact of a wood and ecosystem, biodiversity, and the environment is an extensive property. The role of wood in providing habitat, regulating water cycles, and influencing climate depends in the total quantity of wood available. Total economic resources value. The total economic value and resources potential of wood, such as construction, furniture, paper, and bioenergy, are extensive properties. They scale with the total amount of wood available. Total waste and disposal consideration. The total waste and disposal requirement for wood production, such as in landfills or recycling, are extensive properties that depend on the total quantity of wood. These extensive properties of wood are crucial in fields such as forestry, environment science, resource management, and sustainable development, where the total amount of wood and its distribution are critical factor in understanding and managing wood related system and processes. In summary, wood is considered an extensive property because its key characteristics and such as mass, volume, energy carbon storage, biomes, and environment impact are directly proportional to the total amount of wood present in a given system or environment.
Extensive. Number one, water. Water is considered as extensive property for the following reasons. Total mass and volume. The total mass and volume of water is in given systems such as lake, river, or ocean are extensive properties. They depend directly on the amount or quantity of water present, rather than just its concentration or density. Total energy content. The total energy content of water, including its thermal energy, potential energy, and kinetic energy, is an extensive property. The total energy content scales with the amount of water present. Total chemical potential. The total chemical potential of water, which is related to ability to participate in chemical reactions, is an extensive property. It depends on the total amount of water available, not just its concentration. Total dissolved solids and impurities. The total amount of dissolved solids, minerals, and other impurities in a body of water is an extensive property. It scales with the total volume or mass of water, not just the concentration of the impurities. Total biological and ecological impact. The total impact of water on biological ecosystem is an extensive property. The number of organisms, the productivity of the ecosystems, and the overall environmental effects depend on the total amount of water available. Total hydrological cycle and water resources. The total water cycle, including atmospheric water vapor, is an extensive property. The availability and the management of water resource depend on the total quantity of water is an system. These extensive properties of water are crucial in fields such as hydrology, environmental science, water resources management, and engineering, where the total amount of water and its distribution are critical factors in understanding and managing water-related systems and processes. In summary, water is considered as extensive property because its key characteristics such as mass, volume, energy content, chemical potential, and ecological impact are directly proportional to the total amount of water present in a given system